Hi everyone, I'm Paige Abbott, registered psychologist in the province of Alberta. I wanted to take a moment to talk about the holidays because I do find as a psychologist that every year, starting in about this time, kind of end of November onwards, it can just build a lot of challenge for people. Whether we agree with it, whether we participate in it, whether we acknowledge it or not, this time of year, November, December, Christmas, New Year's, the holidays, everything within that time, it has so much hype and so much association around it from society that we do take it on, and people's mental health shows it. I notice that people just for seemingly no apparent reason, start to feel more triggered, more irritable, more down, more anxious at this time of year. And when we really start to explore, the common denominator is the holiday season. So rather than go into it thinking that it's a non issue and that it's not going to impact you, maybe it's time to actually think about how to go into the holiday season more proactively. So, how to make it a healthy and helpful time for yourself rather than feel bombarded or caught off guard when all of a sudden you're feeling flustered or upset by it and you haven't developed a plan. I know for myself, I went no contact with my family of origin a few years ago now. So this is going to be the third Christmas that we're not spending together. And the reason that I bring that up is I've noticed for myself that day to day, I feel accepting, I feel very peaceful and calm with that action. It just is the most appropriate thing for me and my family because of where things are at. But around this time of year, the guilt at having taken that step starts to really increase for me. And so I know that I have to be more diligent and more mindful about self care and about looking after myself emotionally, because I know that there's going to be more triggers and more feeling at this time of year than there is at other times of year. And I talk with clients all the time who are in similar situations, meaning not that they're in that situation with their families. Some are, but more so that this time of year it brings associations and reminders. Anniversaries, events, it brings a significance with it that does bring some feelings as well. And I've started to have more of those conversations with people just spontaneously and organically over the past couple of days. And I wanted to bring that forward so that you can be reflecting on that and being more conscious and more mindful of where you're at regarding the holiday season. So I would encourage you to take some time to reflect and or to write down your responses to some of the following questions. The first would be, what are your thoughts on the holiday season? What significance and what meaning does it have for you? The second question would be about feelings. So, what feelings does the holiday season bring with it for you? You can look at it historically, so what feelings have come up for you typically in the past, and also current, so what feelings are coming up regarding the holiday season. What are your plans for the holiday? We're in the era of COVID, so people are doing things differently. The people that they would normally spend time with may not be possible. The rituals that people would normally do may also not be possible. And so it's important to spend some time having a think and talking with your closest network about how are you going to spend the holidays? What are you going to do to make it enjoyable, to make it personal, and to make it your own? How are you going to take care of yourself during the holiday season? So, what is your self care routine going to look like? And how can you make the holiday season your own? So, what would be some unique personal elements to it that you can incorporate that bring about a sense of agency and a feeling of influence to a season that sometimes feels like it's out of our hands? We're told by society, sometimes by family, by expectations, what it should look like. But how often do we actually spend time thinking about how we want it to look? So taking some time to reflect on that and build a plan of action for yourself. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do differently to make this season an enjoyable one and to move forward through it in the healthiest way possible? For some people, it's nothing significant, meaning not big grand gestures, but things that just make it more personally meaningful for them. So a certain meal that they want to make sure that they eat, or a certain movie that they want to watch, or creating a half a day where they do just watch certain movies, hang out with certain people, have a leisurely day. Maybe it's having a pajama day, becomes what's important to them. So it doesn't have to be anything that's extravagant or that requires a significant energy or financial output, but looking at what you can do to make the time your own. And this actually applies to all times, not just the holidays, but really looking at how can you make your life and your experiences your own, because there's no worse feeling than feeling like we're living someone else's life besides our own. So taking back that sense of empowerment is crucial for psychological health and well-being. So I hope that you'll spend some time reflecting on these questions. Maybe you come up with a few questions of your own that you would like to reflect on that make it more personal and more individualized to where you're at with regards to the holiday season. But I do hope that you'll spend some time thinking about this rather than just go into the holiday season with no plan, no thoughts, because that's often where people find themselves hurt and harmed because they don't have a plan of action. They're not thinking about what they're going to do and how they're going to take care of themselves. So it's important to be proactive and as preventative as possible. Enjoy the season upcoming. You are going to hear from me with other videos along the way, but I wanted to pop this one in there just to get the holiday season on your mind, and then I am going to come back to some of the other videos that were planned around learning how to keep working with that part of the brain, the healthy and the unhealthy parts that I talked about last time. So stay tuned. Talk to you soon.